Closing arguments are happening right now in the trial over the ouster of Hillsborough State Attorney Andrew Warren. Today, the governor's lawyers made their case, putting Warren's chief of staff on the stand, who testified that he believed by signing on to support statements that opposed prosecuting abortion cases, Warren was making that office policy.
Now, if the judge does rule in Warren's favor here eventually and then reinstates him, interim state attorney Susan Lopez would be out. For 4 months, Lopez has been doing the job that she says she felt obligated to accept at Governor DeSantis' request. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Lasser has more on what's happened since then and what's next.
To prosecute crimes.
Susie Lopez was already no stranger to the Hillsborough State Attorney's Office when Governor Ron DeSantis appointed her to the post on August 4th. A former prosecutor and judge,
I will follow the rule of law.
Lopez accepted the job and has been overseeing the office in Warren's absence ever since.
And I'm going to be coming back and have to turn those policies right back on.
From the start, Warren voiced concerns over Lopez's immediate policy changes.
We'll get back to you, I promise.
She decided to seek the death penalty in the high-profile murder case of Matthew Terry. Warren had been seeking life in prison.
I adjudicate you.
In the end, the jury recommended Terry receive a life sentence anyway, but the case was just one example of how Lopez's policy changes have impacted Hillsborough's justice system.
So you may have to litigate it when you previously thought it could be a negotiated or an easily resolved case.
Local defense lawyers say some plea deals and other arrangements have been upended.
It takes us way back.
And the NAACP says the return of controversial initiatives like Tampa PD's so-called Biking While Black program have led to an uptick in complaints.
She was a prosecutor, appeared in front of me when I was in criminal court.
Stetson law professor and former Hillsborough judge Scott Stevens says Lopez does not deserve the criticism she's received. While he disagrees with Warren's suspension, Stevens holds Lopez in the highest regard.
And I know her to be a very dedicated public servant.
If Warren wins and if he's reinstated while DeSantis appeals, that also means that after 4 months on the job, Susie Lopez, who gave up her own dream job as a county judge to take on this role, would be out. Lopez says the last time she spoke with Governor DeSantis was back on August 4th at the press conference where Warren was suspended. In Tampa, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
And if Warren loses his case, it's likely that Lopez would keep her position as Hillsborough State Attorney. And as Eric said, if she applies to become a judge again, she almost certainly has the governor's backing.